What's up, guys? It's Dedicated Diva, and you are on Dedicated Diva podcast. Now, it's interview time, so you've made it past the application process and you are going up for your interview. Now, a lot of people, sometimes they get nervous because they just don't know what's going to happen and what they will have to say. Slow myself down a little. So basically, when it comes to interviews, you want to think of an interview as you're just talking to your best friend. You may want to talk like you're talking to just a good friend, someone you've known for a long period of time, and you are being professional when you're talking to them. It's nothing to be nervous about. You want to be yourself. You want to make sure you speak up. You want to make sure that you're not mumbling. So the days leading up before an interview, you basically want to tell yourself, this is just a regular interview with someone that I don't know. They don't know me. And it's basically like building a friendship. That's how you can look at an interview. You can look at it like you're just trying to build a friendship and you're just going over your resume if they ask you about it, and you're answering questions. Now, during the interview, if you don't understand a question that they have asked you, or you don't understand the way, you don't understand and you don't know how they respond because they ask you a certain way, just ask them to repeat themselves. Just make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure that you're in a space where it's quiet and you have the time to think and nothing else is going on around you. Now, I have a page on my website, and let me see if I can open up my display for you guys. So yeah, there you guys go. Now, you guys can read over this, put this down, but it's basically where these are some sample or some example interview questions. Now, I know interviews are a lot different now, and I'm aware of that, but it's just, these are some of the questions that you could get asked. There's so many different companies and there's so many different ways recruiters and interviewers try to do their process so they won't seem like everyone else. I had an interview not too long ago, and basically the interviewer probably asked me 3 questions and the rest of it was just talking to me just to basically see how I would talk back with her at the time. They may have, I forgot what they call it. If I remember what they call it, I'll put it down. I'll pin it down in the comment section. But it's basically, they sometimes ask you situational questions, if I said that correctly, like what would you do in this situation? What would you do in this situation? Have you ever had a situation like this? Explain a time when. So it'd be those types of questions that you really have to pay attention to. Just don't let it get in your head. Don't let the interviewer get in your head. It's just answer the question like a normal human being. If they're gonna hire you for the position, they're gonna hire you for the position. If not, they're not. I had an interviewer where I was trying to go over and beyond the Call of Duty. She said at the end of the interview, she was like, well, is there anything that you want to ask me? And I was like, yeah, how has it been for you working for the company? And she was like, that's irrelevant. So you just have to be ready. And I got the job, by the way, but you just have to be ready to answer or ask anything that you see fit. Make sure that you are always listening, because you don't want to ask them a question at that time. Like when they ask you, do you want to ask them anything? You don't want to ask them a question and it's something that they have already said. So it's basically clear your mind, go in talking like you're talking to a good friend, listen to everything they have to say, and if you have any follow-up, just let them know, it is the end and I have this question. You also have to listen for, I call them the signal words. You can kind of tell by the end of the interview if you got the job or not. So you'll kind of know how to conduct yourself at the end of the interview. But yeah, this is all I have on the interview prep. Just sit back, relax, chill, be yourself. Make sure you listen. So if you have any questions, if they ask you any questions like what would you do if, have you ever had a time when, if you've never been in that type of situation and they ask you, have you been in this situation, you just let them know, no, I have not. been in that situation. And if it's something that they want you to go a little bit further in detail, when, say for instance, if it's a question like, and I'm thinking off the top of my head, have you ever been in a situation where someone stole? If you've never been in that situation, just say no. And if they ask you, well, if you were in this situation, then you answer it. Never try to answer a question with something that's not real and you're just making up something, because they will be able to tell. So just going to your interview, clear head, talking to a friend, getting to know someone, be professional, know what you put on your resume. Don't make up anything on your resume, because when it comes to you actually talking during the interview, they'll be able to tell if you lied. If they can't catch it, you get the job. 9 times out of 10, you may end up screwed over because you lied on your resume. So just be yourself. You'll do a good job.